or guests do not state or reflect those of the company, its management, sponsors, or any entities they represent.
Oh, it's lit. We prime time. Subscribe, like, and share. Give us your feedback. Yo, I'm Manny at the plate and Kobe off a steal. Gretzky for the goal and Brady at the wheel. I'm a game changer, the Osaka of the tennis, and breaking scoreboards. Simone of the Olympics, defense and big business. The Mayweather who way better. From the greatness of Jim Brown, I've been down. Talking sports before I was off the porch. Screaming Bo knows while Jordan was playing horse. Late 80s getting torched by the drive and the shot. 2016 got a ring off the 3 in the block. They eased to forgot the cardiac kids. Price and Doherty, Bell in the Indian years. This who it is. Your host DeeTrynt, yo, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer. Yo, your host DeeTrynt, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer.
Price and Doherty, Bell in the Indian years. This is who it is. Your host DeeTrynt, yo, that's a game ranger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer. Hey man, I'm gonna have to update that, but I like that though. I ain't gonna lie, them little bars hit though. You feel me? DeeTrynt, game changer sports talk, industry sports streaming on multiple social and media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Follow us on IG at Industry Sports or at DeeTrynt. If you miss the live streams, you can catch the replays on Spotify, Radio Public, and various other streaming platforms. Just look for the Industry Sports channel. Like, subscribe, share, follow. Once you get in there, you'll see Game Changer Sports Talk with yours truly. Make sure y'all do the same. Man, you know how I be when I start off, man. I gotta get my share on. You know what I'm saying? You know, gotta let it be known we outside. Yeah, man. Last time I was on here, I was real excited about them Cavs. You know, I said a few things that could be possible, and they looking real nice right now, you know what I'm saying, from what I'm picking up, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, these guys look like they ready to win some games, you know what I'm saying? And I would like to see that out of them. Last night game was just tremendous against the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets are the most prolific offense in the league, with their team shooting 40+% from the 3-point line. Jokic back to averaging another triple-double game, popping, you know how he do. And, Jamal Murray has been healthy this year, so he has played a lot. They got some young guys over there, Peyton Watson, Strawther, Christian Braun has developed pretty nice. They got Cam Johnson over there, and, they hungry. A lot of them had already won a ring. They trying to get back to the finals, right? But listen, the Cavs came back from like 15 down to win in Denver. No Mobley, no Strus. Okay, I'm gonna argue that in the 7-game series, the Cavs are dog walked them, because when your defensive player of the year isn't even playing, a guy that's giving you 18 and 8, man, listen. Y'all think Jared Allen eating. What you think about to happen when Mobley come back, bro? He about to be eating. James finally get to come home on Wednesday when they play, who was that, the Wizards? They play the Washington Wizards. So James Harden get to play in front of that Cleveland crowd before he goes to All-Star Weekend. These Cavs look energetic. They look, like they're ready to take off. Seeing that team all the way healthy is something that we look forward to. And the rest of the league better watch out. I ain't gonna hold you. The rest of the league better get it together, because it's about to get ugly. It's about to get ugly. I'm still getting my share on, man. I'm just trying to get my share right. You know what I'm saying? That's all. Just give me a couple seconds, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But there was some other games that was going on interesting last night. Detroit and the Hornets, where Detroit is involved in another debacle. Another fight extravaganza. It ain't get too crazy, but it could have. I'm glad it did not. Uh, it is very much in our favor for us to not see things in the NBA escalate to a point where you don't get to see the best teams go at each other um, in the playoffs. Because regardless of how much we talk about each other's teams and all that, bro, when we get to them playoffs, everybody, hold on. When you get to them playoffs, man, everybody want what up, though, Meech? Everybody want to go against everybody's best. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what we want. Of course, we want to go against everybody's best. But Detroit and the Hornets was crazy. Detroit ended up winning. You know what I mean? 110 to 104. It was cool. The Lakers played the Thunder last night. Lightweight guy. I mean, it was a good game to the end. No Shea, no Luca, but Jalen Williams came to play. Bron came to play clearly. Um, it was a couple of interesting games, but this Cavs with the Harden thing, though, this is really like the T. As they say, this the T. This is the T. All right, because bruh, the way that they've been playing with no practice, with no type of chemistry building sessions on a man. Listen, let me tell you, bruh, it's about to get nasty. They about to hate us. Donovan had 32 points last night, 10 assists, uh, 2 blocks, and 2 steals, I believe. James Harden had 22. He had 10 rebounds, 7 assists, and 4 blocks. Remember they was talking about James Harden don't play no defense? Well, clearly he found his defense on his way to Cleveland. Clearly, somewhere between on the flight from LA to Cleveland, he found his defense. Or he found a legit reason to have to use it. However that worked though, you know, these guys looking nice for a couple games. Now it's only a couple games. All right, so we can't be getting too, excited about 2 games. But um, what teams are not being able to do is just finding somebody to pick on, because the defense is a little better. And I ain't saying that James Harden is a way more better defensive player than Garland, but at 6'5", 220 with a 6'11" wingspan, it makes sense why you're able to get certain blocks or do certain defensive things in the paint against bigger bodies. And that's something that helps Cleveland out well, because you don't want to put too much pressure on your big man. You know what I'm saying? You want to be able to utilize them to their max production, and you ain't gonna get their max production if you're gotta overexpend them on defense. All right, now that I'm finished sharing, let's get into this talk. So, All-Star games coming up, and everybody's going to be on a week break. But all these trades that happen, and now we looking at the NBA and we talking about who is what? In this Eastern Conference, like this year is the year that the Cavs could be one of those teams that take advantage of loopholes, right? No Tatum, but I think even if Boston was full strength with Tatum, I think the Cavs have a chance. New York is definitely had the Cavs number, so to say, and I think the Cavs can take them right now as well. I think the most interesting thing to look at when projecting, if the Cavs can come out of the East or can they contend with the top team in the East, is that the Cavs will ultimately have to go through Detroit to win the East. And I think it's just hilarious how the coach that you got rid of, right, is the one you might have to go through to get to the finals. Now, it's interesting for both of them because JB ain't been out the second round either. JB need to get to a conference finals or a finals to solidify his legacy as a coach, as a young coach as well. So him and Atkinson after the same things. I just think it's funny, how the universe works, right? Um, you know, JB traded in small guards for a big guard, right? And now we got a big guard. So now you got K versus. I mean, if you're looking at this matchup, you're looking at K versus James Harden, right? So you can argue that those cancel out because James is going to give you on offense whatever K can give you on offense. Now you're talking about two guard. Okay, who on their team can keep up with Donovan Mitchell? Now you got Jalen Duren, so that is an interesting thing. But we got Jared Allen. And you got Tobias Harris at the 4, and then that's Evan Mobley. So I want to take Evan. And then you got Duncan Robinson, who's been to a finals, been to the playoffs, you know what I'm saying, is a shooter. But we got Jalen Tyson. And then we talking about our bench versus their bench. So, I mean, we very premature. It's only February. It ain't even All-Star break yet. We're just now getting around 50 games. I'm just saying, though, that the Cavs right now is currently constructed, can compete with anybody in the league. They got multiple guards down there that can run the offense, that facilitate, bring the ball up court. You got multiple bigs who can impact the game on both ends of the floor. On 3 levels, it's on 3 levels on offense and 3 levels on defense. And you have wings. Now, do you have enough big wings? I don't know. I mean, James considered a big wing at 6'5", right? Matt Strus is 6'5". Jalen Tyson is 6'7". Naquan Tomlin is 6'9". Dean Wade is 6'10". You got Larry Nance Jr. at 6'7". So you got a couple. Now you definitely got some small guys down there, but Keon Ellis is 6'4". The smaller guys. Sam Merrill about 6'4", and then smallest guys is really Schroeder, CPJ, and Donovan. So I think the Cavs got a great chance of going to the finals because when Mobley gets back in form, I said this on the last show, I'm going to say it again. You're going to have games. You're going to have a couple games where all of them score 20, 25 points apiece. Allen, Mobley, Mitchell, Harden. That staggering, being able to stagger a guard and a big with a guard and a big is about to be crazy. And to still be able to sit all them down and run with a 5 that can still put up buckets. I mean, just think about this, right? At some point, you might see them run Thomas Bryant with Naquan Tomlin, Jalen Tyson, Matt Strus, and Merrill, right? And why could you get that off? Because Matt Strus could actually bring the ball up the court. And Jalen Tyson's here for the most part. Or you could just throw CPJ in there, right? And you can run CPJ, Merrill, Strus, Tyson, and Thomas Bryant. Every last one of them could shoot. And that's just still sitting your big 4 on the bench is still able to come off the bench, bring them off, and still be able to play them with a Schroeder or Ellis or a Tomlin or a Nance. Like, these ain't the greatest names in the world, but when you surround them around the right pieces, you can really make magic happen. And I think something else that's going to really, people ain't talking about right now, but that's really upgrade for the Cavs is their half-court offense. And let's talk about how James Harden has deferred to Donovan, and it makes it easier in the clutch. Hey, Donovan, go get your bucket. If you can't get your bucket or it seems like he's doing too much, you can give it to Harden and let Harden make a play. Whether it be for him, for another player, James can make a play. You're not about to get James caught up in dribbling and he can't get to the hole. You know what I'm saying? Now, James Harden is learning the hard way that Cleveland don't get a lot of calls because he hit the three to tie the game up last night, and it should have been a 4-point play to give us the lead. Also, after Tim Hardaway missed that three with 9 seconds left.
Yeah, he got dogged on that play. At 3, he got dogged. That definitely should have been a foul.
Definitely should have been a 4-pointer. But like I say, he learning that Cleveland don't get calls. Cleveland gotta take that shit. And and on the last play, when Donovan got fouled, a lot of people didn't see Jared Allen streaking down the backside, and he really could have threw him the lob, and they could have ended the game on the alley-oop. That would have been crazy. You know what I'm saying? But this Cavs team, man, this is going to be probably the best team in the East. Past the All-Star break. I'm hoping during the All-Star break that they really get together a powwow, have conversations, be able to watch some games and stuff together, and really make a push. Because looking at it, the Cavs will have to. Now, there's some teams that gave Cavs problems, right? Like you think of Atlanta, right? Who only got more athletic with the addition of Jonathan Kuminga, and even got more deadlier shooting by adding Buddy Hield and CJ McCullough. Why am I mentioning Atlanta? Because that's a team with their makeup that has given the Cavs problems before, right? But now that you replace Harden with Garland, it's a little more of an issue because Harden is more of a threat on the offensive end than Garland is. He's more polished. He's more of a for show weapon. So when you got guys like that on your squad, you feel me? It just makes the opposing team have to focus their efforts differently. And this is what you want, right? You want them to focus their efforts to the point where, you know, they forget that it's so many people on here who could do it. I mean, the Cavs literally have shooters. Like Sam Merrill could really shoot. Jalen Tyson could really shoot. On top of the fact that, of course, Spider and Beard gonna shoot. If Mobley start getting hot, you know what I mean? Thomas Bryant could stretch the floor. Listen, contrary to popular belief, Jared Allen got a mid-range jump shot. And I would love to see James Harden unlock the mid-range for the bigs, for both bigs. If he can unlock the mid-range for them, if they can realize that anytime that they catch the ball around the paint, outside the free throw, that they are, listen. All right, we got the link in the chat too, you know what I'm saying, wherever you watching it at, if you want to come up and say your piece, you feel me, definitely hit that link. You know what I'm saying? We'll bring you up. We can definitely come chop it up. You know what I'm saying? About this basketball.
Ignore that inbox, bro.
I know. I figured. It's cool. That's why I went on ahead. But so let's bring up basketball right quick. Second April, first April.
You back?
Am I back?
Yeah, you back
I
now.
don't
You
think I'm back.
disappeared for a second.
There we go. Am I back? I didn't think I was back. Okay. We outside? We outside. Hey. So I like this first April, second April thing because is allowing everybody to have a star, right? And I don't care what type of fan you are and what you think about the game. In my opinion, in a professional league, every franchise should have a star. Every franchise. Every franchise should have at least 2 stars. Because the whole point of it is to be competitive. It can't be competitive if one team has all the stars or only so many teams. Like, that doesn't make sense. You need parity. This is why football always dominates, because you never know. It's literally any given Sunday. And basketball has become such a beloved sport. It should be any given game. Any game, it could get ugly. Okay? Any game. But let's recap some more from the yesterday. As I said, Pistons, Hornets, 110-104 Pistons. They beat the Hornets on the road. Bulls, Nets. Nets win 123-115 at home. Anthony Simons and Colin Saxon, both with the Bulls, both went over 20 yesterday. I think that's an interesting tell. The Jazz beat the Heat yesterday, 115-111. Kessler Walker did not play, but Andrew Wiggins went for like 26, though. Bucks lose to the Magic 118-99. Timberwolves beat the Hawks 138-116, despite CJ McCullough going for 38. We talked about, Kings and Pelicans. Pelicans 120-94 over the Kings. We talked about Cavs, Nuggets. Warriors and Grizzlies, with the Warriors winning by 114-113. And the Thunder beat the Lakers 119-110. LeBron had some interesting comments after the Lakers game that was seen to be brought up about them not being a championship team. And I'm trying to figure out where to lie at. And why do people get so caught up in stuff when it's true? The Lakers have the build to play better. They got some guys on defense they could utilize better. The problem is, Bron got to play the 4. See, this is the issue. If Bron played a 4 with Aiden at the 5, you could do a lot more. Because now you could throw a Vanderbilt at the 3 and just let them run the backcourt, right? And in this state, you will let Vanderbilt be your defensive perimeter guy, right? Perimeter defense guy. And you let Aiden hold the paint. And then Bron, you basically just playing safety, right? Weak side board, weak side block. You know what I'm saying? You can catch it in the lane on the steal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really, and then, Austin and Luka ain't like they are not going to play defense. But you can pick on them because they're not great one-on-one defenders. But you still got room them down there. You know what I'm saying? You got some guys down there. And I ain't saying that the Lakers can contend for a championship this year. I mean, they got enough stars on there where they can make it interesting. But I'm just saying they could be utilized a little different too. And it might could bring more out of the team. Cam Thomas got released from the Nets. I don't think I said this on the last broadcast, but I kept telling myself, I was thinking to myself, where could he go? If I'm Cam Thomas, where do I go? I want to go somewhere where I got a chance to win, and I got a chance to be an integral part of the win. Some people say you go to State, but why? You could try to, go to, he could have tried to went to Atlanta. He could have went to Minnesota, right? He could have went. Who else up here? He could have went to Boston. He could have tried to go to Philly or Toronto, right? Toronto could have used him, but I kept saying the Bucks was the best place for him. And I didn't really get to have this conversation with a lot of people. But I kept saying, damn, if I was him, I would go to the Bucks. Because Giannis don't got a number 2 right now. You know what I'm saying? Craig Porter Jr. over there, AJ Green over there, Bobby Portis over there. Okay, I can actually go over here and get buckets. And that would help Giannis out tremendously. And I can earn me a contract and compete. So Milwaukee 21-30. If Giannis come back after the break, I'm saying this right now, Milwaukee could get in the play-in. Milwaukee with Cam Thomas could arguably get up to 8, right? And don't get me wrong, I think Charlotte and Atlanta, who sit at 9 and 10 right now, got really good teams. I think Miami, Orlando got pretty decent teams. But I think Miami is going to slide. Miami's going to slide. I don't know what it is about they can't get right with Hero, Wiggins, and Bam with Khalil. Like, I don't know if it's Spoelstra outdated. I don't know. But I feel like Miami going to fall. I also feel like Toronto going to fall. Toronto got a bunch of hoopers on their squad. Right? That's the one team that literally needs a facilitator and a rim defender. Right? But I think they're going to slide. I think Miami going to slide. Orlando got a pretty nice team. And they don't have Franz Wagner. I'm not sure what's up with Franz. Matter of fact, let me check this out right now. I've been trying to figure out what's up with Franz for the longest. Like, hey man, I ain't seen my homie Yo. And him and Paulo, but that Anthony Black cat, he really showing he really doing his thing. What's up? Okay, he's still out with the ankle sprain. Okay. So Wagner most likely be back somewhere in March. Especially if it wasn't a break, it was just a sprain. He already been out 2 months. I think you can see him in March. I hear that about them shutting him down for the season. I'll read more into it to see what happened. But he come back, I think they can rise. Boston is playing unbelievable this year. Shout out to the former champs for showing that fight and letting them know like we still wrecking shit out here. New York been playing good too. I still feel like they do themselves a disservice by playing Cat at the 5. I don't care. I'll be finding somebody on that bench that could just rebound and block. That still allow me to bring Mitchell Robinson off the bench, man, because that's all you need. All right. You can, 4 dudes could play fast and the 5 could be a little trailer. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole team game. Everybody got a role. But I just think New York's stronger when they go Brunson, Bridges, Ogunjobi, Towns, and then a center. They more potent like that. But they only 5 games from Detroit. In Detroit, hey man, listen. As long as K good, Detroit good. Because him and Duran with Thompson, Asar like the wing Ben Wallace. He got more offensive game than Ben Wallace, but he like the wing Ben Wallace. And then you got Jalen Duran, who just basically like he not Rashid, but he just that paint presence though. You know what I'm saying? He gonna play tough. He gonna rebound. He gonna block shots. He gonna be physical. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be young. He athletic. He gonna run. You know what I'm saying? So Detroit gonna play fiery, and then they got